What it do, lineage? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? This is your brother Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle. What's good? I'm here to drop another one and another one and another one. Knowledge. Knowledge is the key. All right. Only the knowledge can set us free. But the only way for the knowledge to set us free, we have to apply. We have to make the knowledge applicable. You feel me? So that's where we are at right now. Let me see. I want to make sure I have audio on Facebook. Give me 1 second. I think I do. Yep. Have to apply. Yeah, we do. So I'm about to drop another one, right? Because what it is, a lot of American Aborigines, original people of the Americas, they're still confused as to who, the original Americans are. And once again, when we speak of America, we are speaking of a huge, in fact, the biggest continent on the planet. There's only one America. However, due to colonization, it was divided into two parts: North America, South America, and eventually Central America. Further division, further conquer. Okay. So with that being said, and I'm gonna dive all the way into the 1400s, the 1500s, and we're gonna dissect, the term Negro. Okay, and you will realize that exactly what Negro means and what Negro meant, and Negro became a significant word or term that was coined, to the American Aborigines, aka American Indians, aka Amerindians, and most people don't know who they are. All right, and I will continue to let you know this, that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So, with that being said, let's dive into a little bit of information. I did put the link of the description. All right, I did put the link in the description below of the excerpts from the sources that I'm reading from. So please make sure you check it out yourself. Also, this lesson is brought to you by both my books, Jin Insists to Reevaluation. The link is in the description, and Everyone is a Slave Unless is also in the description. So, with that being said, let's get into it and let's go. More proof that we, the so called Negro, are the original people of the Americas. Okay? These natives are a brand new people, not just here in the United States, but all over the Americas, including the Caribbean islands. Okay? So they show you this Mexican looking pale skinned people as the original people. No, they are not. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at William Penn. Okay, William Penn on the Lenape, 1683. All right, so we're talking about 1683. William Penn on the Lenape, Delaware. The Delaware Indians, letter to the Committee of Free Society of Traders. So that's a letter that he wrote in 1683. And here are the excerpt. I'm just going to read the first paragraph for you. It says what? The natives I consider in their person, language, manners, religion, and government with my sense of their original. Okay? In other words, everything that we had, it was in the sense of original. We did not copy anything from anybody. Basically, he's establishing that we had our own systems. Now, to the right, you will see a depiction of this so-called Indians, and of course, you're going to see them whitewashed, right? But we're going to read the description and then look at the picture and tell me if something is not wrong, because it's not even close. All right, so let's read. That's why pictures could tell 1,000 words, but I think words could also tell a clearer picture. Okay. For their persons, they are generally tall, straight, well built, and of singular proportion. In other words, all the American Aborigines have a similar build. What I told y'all before, we have this athletic build. All right, go all over the Americas and you'll see that. Now, when you go to Africa, and please, when I teach, people think I have something against Africa. No, I don't. All right, what I have something against is lies, misinformation, false information. I have nothing against Africans. One day, I hope to do trade with Africans. Okay, but do it as who we are. as American Aborigines, not African Americans, not the diaspora of Africa, not descendants of Africa. We did not descend from Africa. All right? And I'm going to continue to prove that to you. So, for their persons, they are generally tall, once again, athletic built, straight, well built, and of singular proportion. They tread strong and clever, and mostly walk with a lofty chain. That is just how we walk. You feel me? All right. Of complexion, what does it say? Black. See, y'all people better wake up, man. Stop thinking y'all from Africa. That's all over the Americas. But of course, we are talking about here particularly, we are talking about the Lili Lenape, right? But soon, and very, very soon in this lesson, I'm gonna dive into other parts of the Americas and show you again that the description of these people are consistent with being so-called black, brown, olive, dark skin, or dark olive, whatever the case is. They are talking about people of color, so-called Negroes. You feel me? But it says, of complexion black, but by design. In other words, by design, meaning that that's the way nature intended it to be. So may I ask you a question? Who are the people calling themselves natives today? Apparently, they were not the people that were being described as early as 1683 here. Okay? As the gypsies in England, because even the gypsies, the original people in Europe, were people of color. Okay? Germany, Russia, all these people were attorney people. And I'm going to prove that to you again. They grease themselves with bare fat, clarified and using no defense against the sun, because we are children of the sun. Why would we need to defend ourselves against the sun? All right. Whether their skin must needs be swampy. Swampy means dark in complexion. All right. Now, so we see the description here, and we they spoke about the gypsies in England, but let us for the sake of this lesson, let us go here and look at the Benjamin Franklin observation concerning mankind. And I'm just going to go here real quick and give you a little bit of the description of the Americas. Okay, let me see if I can find that for y'all. Give me 1 second. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. I am not looking for that one. National Archives. That might be it. The increase of mankind. And let us go all the way down, I think, to 20. Here we are. Okay. 20 or 24, I think. I think it's 20 or 24. Most likely, it's probably 24. 24? Let me see. All right, here we go. 24. What did Benjamin Franklin say? 24. Which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people, of course, they're not white, but for the purpose of this excerpt, we leave it as what it is. Okay, because the background on which the writing in black is written on is white. I've never seen anyone having that complexion, so nobody's white. Black and white are statuses. But anyway, let us read. It says, which leads me, and that is Benjamin Franklin talking, which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black or tawny. Okay? All Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. In other words, the majority of Asia is also tawny, meaning that dark skin. America exclusively or exclusive of the newcomers, woolly so. What does it say? America, except for the newcomers, the pale-skinned people, the natives, the so-called white people, is also tawny and dark. You feel me? And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swampy complexion. They are dark skin as well. We're not talking about these pale-skinned Italians that we see nowadays. We're talking about the original ones. Okay? They are all swampy in complexion. What does it say? As are the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make the principal body of so-called white people on the face of the earth. Okay? Straight from Benjamin Franklin's mouth. So as you could see, America was tawny Swafi, okay, a dark-skinned race of people were all over the Americas. All right. Now, let us go to the next one. We are going to go to Giovanni de Verrazzano, the one who they named the Verrazzano Bridge after him. What does he have to say about the people that were found here in the Americas? And I also put the link in the description because I don't want you to think just I'm the one saying this. You see, so let me go ahead and put it in the find. Let me see. Go ahead and find. Where do we have that? Okay, it's not. Normally I would be able to hit the find joint. Let me see. Why is not showing me that? I guess I'm gonna have to read the whole thing. I didn't want to read the whole thing. All right, it's all good. No big deal. All right, so I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm just going to try to search for that and read it for you. So let me see. I know. I think it might be. It's going to come up soon. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, it says they go completely naked, except that around their loins they wear skins of small animals like mattens, with a narrow belt of grass around the body, to which they tie various tails of other animals, which hang down to the knees. The rest of the body is bare, and so is the head. Some of them wear garlands of bird feathers. They are what? Dark in color. They are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians. What does not unlike means like? It means to be like. In other words, not different from the Ethiopians. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a pale Ethiopian like the natives we have here today? My brothers and sisters, man, y'all better wake up. Once again, I know cognitive dissonance is kicking in every time we drop the truth, every time we drop the facts. But you have to resort to the colonial form of education that you got. And it's difficult for you to imagine yourself as the original people of the Americas when you were bombarded with the slave stories, the Africa stories, and they gave you this emotional attachment to a continent of people that you have no connection to or with. You feel me? But I'm here to change all of that. But I can't do it by myself. I could give you the information, give you the facts so that you could do the readjustment, because you will readjust it. You will convert it to something else. I'm here to bring you back into your true persona as the autochthon American people. You feel me? We have always been here. Goes into time immemorial. What does it say? Okay. In complexion, they were dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians with thick hair, not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail. Okay. The physique of the men is well proportions, of medium, a little taller than we, meaning that the Europeans. Okay. That is Verrazzano, the one they named a bridge in New York after him, going from Brooklyn to Staten Island, that takes you into New Jersey. I'm giving you facts from a lot of these colonizers, telling you who the original people are and what they look like. Boom. All that stuff is in the description below. Let us go to another book, Africans and Native Americans. Let's go see who these Native Americans are before the term native was coined by the United States to mean the pale-skinned natives. But let us go back to the 1600s, because these people that they call the natives, and the term native, it was changed in the 1900s, the late 18 to 1900s to early 1900s, to mean the pale-skinned people, just mean to be born. But before that, native meant aboriginal. So I want y'all to know there was a switcheroo. There was a change of who the aboriginal were. All right. Let us go ahead and read that book. A little from that book, at least. I put the link in the description for y'all. All right. Here we go. But reading is fun for the mental. So let us do a little bit of reading. We're going to read the Portuguese use of the term Negro for Americans. Hold up. Well, let me ask you a question. Why would they call the pale-skinned natives Negroes? What did it say? It didn't say for some Americans. It says for Americans. So who's the original American? What is wrong with my people, man? And this book is called Africans and Native Americans. So back then, native actually meant the Negro. until it was changed in the late 1800s, particularly the early 1900s, when all the treaties and the Constitution had to be, not the Constitution, the treaties had to be ratified so that it could fit the criteria of the newly found, or the newly coined native. All right. So here we are. What does it say? Insofar as the use of Negro or its equivalent for Americans is concerned, it is very well to begin our analysis with a brief review of usage in the Portuguese language. Okay, so once again, the Portuguese dealt with Negro people, American Indians, the Negro of America, not these natives. They had nothing to do with these treaties. Treaties with them only came in the 1900s, late 1800s. That's when those treaties were ratified. Don't believe anything that I say. Go listen to my conversation with the Cherokee tribe. He'll tell you exactly when those treaties were formed. Okay? We were replaced. Let us proceed. First, it must be noted that the Europeans generally regarded the Americans as being of an intermediate color, pardo, loro, barretino, or olivestre. Okay? For example, in 1519, we're going all the way to 1519 before any supposed slaves came from Africa. It was said of the Brazilians, non sono nere de blanchi, ma de color de olivo. That is, they are not black or white, but of olive complexion. But olive complexion is a golden brown. Okay, it's a brown complexion as in ruddy. Okay, but as in copper. But the same writer also remarked that the Brazilians, Kono men he saw were so black that they could have been taken for sailors on the sea of the stinks in hell. So now we know the sailors were black people, which I've already explained to you, and I broke that down eloquently in my book, Gen Insist to Reevaluation. So I'm proving to you here again from another author, independent of myself, proving to you that the sailors who came here were so-called black men. The Jews and the ones that introduced Judaism, the so-called Hebrews, Israelites, their leaders, and the Moors. Okay, they were the ones that came here. All right, but let's read this again. Let's read this again. It says, here we go. But the same writer also remarked that the Brazilian canoe men, okay, he saw were so black that they could have been taken for sailors on the sea. In other words, sailors that came from across the seas. Our people had the same complexion with them. All right. Another Italian in circa 1533 described them as the color olivestro, a pure e più presto nigri, that is olive colored and almost black. How much more proof do y'all want? And how much more proof do you want? You see, people who are not well studied will continue to fall for the lies and the illusions. And brainwashed people, they are always going to oppose the facts and the truth because they are indoctrinated. Okay, and they will not see the bigger picture. But I'm literally reaching out to those that are ready to step up because they see the truth, they know the truth, and we have to come together. In 1492 to 1493, the Caribbean islanders were said to be of loro color, white more than black. But in 1524, the Carolina Coast people were said to be, now we're talking about Carolina Coast people, were said to be of dark color, not much unlike the Ethiopians, which we just read from Arizona. Okay, meaning that like the Ethiopians, with lighter colored people farther north. Thus, a range of color was perceived, with some being almost white and some of darker shades. When we talk about that, we're talking about a light skin complexion, not pale as in pale skin white, so-called white people, as in Caucasian. We are talking about when you go look the combination of pennies, you will see that the pennies range from a red skin of what we call a red bone to a dark to almost what we may call black, but it's not black and it's not so-called white. Okay, let us read. And I'm also going to show you that a lot of I'm going to show you that even part of the Americas, especially towards Brazil and those areas, that was considered to be part of India superior. That's why they call those people La Indios. A lot of people don't understand and know that. That's what it was considered as, whether it was geographically or not. That's besides the point. Because they thought they were in India, they called them that. But however, it is true that that was India Superior, in India Major. Okay, because and I will show you a map of 450 BC when it was just Europe, Asia, and what we call Libya. So obviously that was the world then. Then we have to assume was America part of that, but America was included as India Superior. Okay, but like I said, knowledge is power. From 1549 through 1565, the letters of the Jesuit missionaries in Brazil, usually addressed to colleagues in Portugal or Spain, frequently referred to the Americans as what? Negroes, as well as using terms such as gentios, pagans, brash, and other forms of Brazilian and Indios. Okay, so the Americans were called Negroes. Wake up, my people. In April 1549, Manuel de Nobrega, the leader of the Jesuits, addressed a letter from Bahia to some Samoa Rodriguez in Lisbon, which he refers to the Portuguese in Brazil as living in sin because of their having many negras, which is female for Negro, lots of children by said black women. Hold up. They call them black women. Okay? So who are these natives today? Because that's what they were doing. They came here and they were having affairs, raping our women. Yes, the Moors and the Jews, the Hebrews, the Israelites, they were the ones who came here and did that. I know a lot of y'all are afraid of the truth, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you raw, regardless of what you say, because I'm giving you the truth. Okay? Now, I'm not going to lie. Some of them did fall in love, but the majority of them were raped and taken by force because we had a matrilineal system. And then once you enter the woman, that was a marriage, and then that child would become heir to the land. All right? That was the hostile takeover. Same thing that's happening all over the world with the Chinese. They're going to start having babies with indigenous women, and their children are now going to be heir to the land. But like I said, the ignorant and the brainwashed will not get the message. Always thinking that the Chinese have your best interest at heart. No. Go to China and see. They are a secluded, exclusive people, and they only look out for themselves. And that's facts. Now, the editor, Seraphim Leite, notes in a footnote, Negras isto é mulheres indias, negras mem, negros de África, ande os no havia na baia. A few lines later, Nobrega refers to the indios destra terra. Thus, the Jesuit father called the American women living with the Portuguese, the so-called black devils, men negras. Okay, a term which, according to Leite, could not have denoted people from Africa, because in 1549 there were few or no Africans women in Bahia. Nonetheless, Nobrega also uses the word indio. So you see, my sisters, pay attention. And even the men that they're talking about, they came from Europe. They did not come from Africa. Some of them did, not all of them. Those that came from Africa were already in Europe. So they were of African descent. Trust me, they had the records. You feel me? This pattern is repeated time and time again, as we shall see. What does it signify? It would seem that the Indios or Gracis of Brazil were in fact both Negroes and what? Indios, because Indios was simply a special regional kind of Negroes. Okay, that's what Indios means. All right, a regional type of Negro. We must bear in mind that Brazil was part of what? Las Indias, or India. You see, I'm giving y'all knowledge, man. Brazil was part of India. It was considered India Major, and that the geographical designation for the people native to that would be what? Indian, because it was in there. But in addition to a purely geographical designation, they might also be considered to be Negroes, even as people of India proper, okay, were often called Negroes, as well shall we see below. In addition to being Indios, the coastal Brazilians were also called Brasis because they resided in the part of India called Brazil. So Brazil is part of India Major, in India Major, India Superior, right? When Africans are referred to in the Jesuits, they are always called Negro de Guinea, blacks of Guinea to distinguish them from the Negros de Terra, which means black of the land of the Americas. Man, I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm done. See, y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake up. All right. Let me show you a picture of Montezuma II, and you tell me who are these people calling themselves Mexicans today. All right, calling themselves the Inca and the Aztecs today. Let me show y'all a picture, and that we're talking about, that was in the 1500s. Okay, let us read a little bit about this man right here. They have all these different variations of the pronunciation of his name, but Montezuma II was the ninth. He was the ninth emperor. So if the ninth emperor was a dark man, just imagine the eighth, the seventh, the sixth, the fifth, the fourth, the third, the second, and the first. All right. The ninth emperor of the Aztec Empire, also known as Mexica Empire, reigning from 1502 to 1504 to 1520. It was only later when King Charles, I think it was King Charles, became one of the emperors, later in of Mexico. But all these people were Negroes. Okay. Now, like I said, man, the facts is here. Y'all do what y'all want. If the information, if y'all want to continue to stay indoctrinated, then go ahead and be that. But I'm just here to give you the facts. Just here to give you the facts. And even for those of you who think you're from Africa, you came and mixed in with our people. So you have more of our people in you. In other words, you have more American Indian blood in you than these native people that call themselves Native Americans all over the Americas. Okay? So go ahead and do your own due diligence. Like I said, I'm going in more detail in the book, giving more information, but I'm just giving y'all some information so you could start learning some things. All right? And let the truth be implanted in your mind so we could step up once again and take back our birthright. All right? So I hope you found some value in this lesson. Go ahead and share the information. Give it to because a lot of times, I'm telling you, in your household, you're going to get the biggest resistance, because most people in the household, it's only one person, one individual, one man, one woman that's going to get up and say, you know what, man, I got this. I know who I am. I'm going to stand up. But everybody else in the house is going to stand against you. All right. It's not because they hate you. It's not that they hate you. They are just still indoctrinated. It is not their time to get it. So what I suggest is just continue to plant the seeds. Don't hate them. Don't be mad at them. Don't do that. Just continue to plant the seeds. Give them little drips and drips of information so that eventually they will see the light, and that your household could now be equally yoked and you guys could be on the same page. It is time for us to unite and make this happen. This is your brother, Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, with another one, with another one, with another one. All right? One love.